tie base was 1.9 millimeters. So it shows, again, the tendency that, yeah, there might be some more remodeling around short titanium base, but the significance is not, the difference is not significant. Based on this data, we can say that if you have thick tissues, 3 millimeters or more, and if you place implant at the level of the bone, meaning that there is no bone above the implant neck, then it's no difference what you're gonna use. If you use short titanium base or if you use high titanium base, there will be no difference in crestal bone stability. But of course, if you go deeper, then everything changes, because then you have this bone above the implant neck which you can compress by choosing just a little bit shorter titanium base. What conclusions can we make from this study and combine with all the data we have from previous ones? That first of all, we must divide how deep the implant placed. Only then we can say that titanium base is good or bad. So when people say that titanium base is low and it's bad, I always ask for which implant position you are referring. Because if you are referring for subcrestal position, I agree with you. And if you're referring for the implant at the level of the bone, I do not agree with you. And if you're referring if the implant is placed above the bone, like let's say tissue level implant, then it doesn't matter. So you see, it depends on the deepness of implant placement. So for crestal titanium bases, of course, we should not use titanium bases less than 1 millimeter, that's for sure. I could say that we should use at least as high as subcrestal position of the implant. And here, if you have, let's say, 2 millimeter position implant below the bone, the lowest tie base you can use is 2 millimeters. Maybe you can use 3 millimeters, depending again on tissue thickness. However, that's different story. That's probably the story about materials, because the higher tie base, the less zirconia you can expose to your peri-implant tissues. Now, this is the case I like. It shows all the science in action, which we're doing now for many years. 2 implants placed subcrestally, one by one, both implants integrated, and 1 implant is restored with low tie base, and the other implant is restored with high tie base. Now, both implants do not have bone loss, because you see there is no bone changes below the implant neck. However, the left one, with low tie base, of course, the base compressed the bone, and you have lost some bone. Now, in the right implant, you see a 2 millimeter tie base. So, of course, there is no compression of the bone. And then you can say that, yes, for subcrestally placed implants, the selection of tie bases is very important. What about crestally placed implants? So if I place implant crestally, what should I do then? Now I think that you can use low tie bases as much as you want. Of course, if you have other factors also taken care of. For example, here, this is, I think, 6 years follow-up, a big bridge on 3 implants connected directly to implant level. Again, another lecture, another study showing how to make passive bridges on implant level with many implants. Multi-units are not needed. I mean, this is a myth. Use of multi-units is propagation of companies which cannot allow you the placing of the implant at the placing of the restoration at the level of the implant. But again, this is a different story. But anyway, here you can see that there is no bone loss with short titanium bases, and this will be stable, I think, for a long time. Even if you have implant placed at the level of the bone, You can use higher tie base, and I would suggest to do that if you have then thick tissues, very thick tissues. For example, here you can see that you have almost 5 millimeters of tissue thickness. Then I would say that you should use higher titanium base, even the implant is placed at the level of the bone. Now with this, I want to thank you for your kind attention.